First tonight, 5 people are safe after their boat capsized in Newport News. They were on the water near Huntington Beach this morning when we're told something went wrong.
Newport News firefighters had to pull them from the water. 13 News Now reporter Nico Clemens spoke with 3 of the people who were on the boat.
A family is thankful to be alive.
We're praying that we wouldn't die or anything.
And thankful for their blessing in disguise.
We're blessed. We're blessed.
This is Christopher and Jamichael Keys. They're cousins. They came up from North Carolina with some of their family to go fishing in the James River. It's a trip they've made before, only this time too much water started coming in and not going out. Jesse Keys Sr., Christopher and Jamichael's grandfather, says that's when they started heading back to the Huntington Beach shore.
I thought we were going to make it back to the show.
But they didn't. Keys, his grandsons, and 2 other family members fell in.
I was scared and I thought like sharks was coming because there were sharks in the water.
Nobody had life vests on.
Just pretty much try to hold on.
But that's when that blessing in disguise showed up.
Well, I didn't see anything because I lost my glasses. Well, and in my imagination, they just popped out in the middle of nowhere.
Newport News Fire Department's Marine Incident Response Team was also on the water, getting ready for a training exercise. The Marine team, along with another Good Samaritan, pulled the family to safety.
It was all great, talking, we all crying, saying we made it.
You're right here is about the closest I could get, but about halfway out, you can see crews pulling that boat out of the water.
They was out there practicing.
Yeah.
Saw them coming. Everything was good.
Virginia Marine Police are now investigating the accident. One officer even saying if Newport News Fire wasn't in the water, this story could have been different. And while it was a terrifying experience, the Keys are looking at the positives.
We're thankful.
Real thankful.
We thought it was going to be goners, but we wasn't.
Yes.
This afternoon, they're counting their blessings. In Newport News, Nico Clemens, 13 News Now.